Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is the Miro Consulting webinar on Oracle Java licensing and subscriptions. We are going to begin in about 1 minute. We are just going to give everyone a chance to log in. Again, if you are just joining us, this is the Miro Consulting webinar on Oracle Java licensing and subscriptions. We're just going to give everyone another few seconds to log in and get themselves situated. All right, let's begin. Thank you for joining me. This is the Miro Consulting presentation on Oracle Java licensing and subscriptions. My name is Sean Donoghue. I'm the VP of Marketing here at Miro Consulting. This presentation was prepared by our Director of Technical Services, Tim Hegedus. All right, a little bit about who we are, just so you understand who's providing you this information. We're the leading global provider of software asset management and subscription management services for Oracle, Microsoft, IBM, Amazon Web Services, and Salesforce. We specialize in license management, audit advisory, negotiation tactics, support management, and cloud services. Our mission is to help our clients maximize ROI on their software licenses, subscriptions, investments, stay in compliance, and negotiate successful contract audits and settlements. We also can help you save a lot of money on any of these vendors if you are looking to reduce your budget. And in fact, we are a risk-free opportunity for you because we have a performance guarantee that basically says the amount of money you save is going to be more than our fees. And we give that to all of our clients. So if you are a little concerned about getting your value, let me assure you with Miro, you can. All right, what are we going to go over here today? So we are going to cover the changes that have happened effectively since 2019, but especially on the 2023 changes, which are very important. We're going to talk about what different releases of Java are free and what releases are paid, because different Oracle versions of Java, some are free for now, and some are paid. We're going to tell you how to determine which is which. We're going to go over the different agreements for Java, because it's important to know that you might have Java licensed or subscribed under different agreements, terms, conditions. So you want to make sure that you're looking at the right type of contract, the right rules, things like that. We're going to talk about Java sales inquiries. We're going to talk about upgrading Java or migrating away from Java. And you can also ask any questions. We have a question box, a Q&A. Please feel free to ask any questions and we'll answer them at the end. I have my entire team here with me, all my Java analysts, and they are waiting on the line. So if you're looking to get some free consulting, now's the time. All right, let's talk about the state of the Java audit. So Oracle is continuing to audit its clients for Java. Here at Miro, we have a good 24 Java audit clients going at any given time. So it's been very busy. And we've estimated that around 20% of Oracle clients have at this point purchased a Java licensing agreement. Subscription of some kind, either old metrics or new metrics. So if you were curious to know, are people really buying these subscriptions? Is this really happening? Yes, they absolutely are. And they are because they're aware that Oracle is out there doing Java audits. So if you are in the boat of you thinking this isn't really a real thing, there's too many people out there, they're never going to get to me, they're going to get to you. It's a matter of time. They may be looking at you already. So I just want to give you the quick warning that these are real. This is not just an on-paper thing. All right, and with that, I'd like to launch our first poll. So what I'd like to do is ask you, what is your plan when it comes to Java? And I always say the same thing. You give me an answer and I will make sure you get the answers to all of these, the polling results, so you can see what your peers are doing. So again, here, this is, what is your organization's plan on Java? And I will give everyone about 10 more seconds to enter their information. There's a bit of a delay, so if you have already, thank you very much. I'm just watching the numbers come in. And again, if you answer my question, I will send you all the results and you will find out what your peers think. Thank you very much. This not just from today, from the many times I've done this webinar in the past. I have months and months worth of data of hundreds and hundreds of people. I know you'd like to see what they're doing. I am so glad to see none of you are going with wait and see, because that is a terrible option. So thank you very much. That's it. I'm going to end the poll now. All right. And like I said, I will share with you compiled results after the event. All right, let's talk about Java pricing. So in January 2023, Oracle announced a new per employee metric. And I'm reading my slides here, which I usually don't do because I really want you to, this is the big takeaway. If you didn't know about this, the per employee metric basically requires all of your employees to have a Java license, even if they don't use it. Even if they use a rake and their job is to rake leaves or sweep the floor and they don't even get near a computer, they still need a Java license as per Oracle. Now, here's what Oracle defines as per employee. And I will read this one just because I want you to get the exact quote here. Your full-time, your part-time, your temporary employees, all of your full-time employees, part-time, temporary, agents, contractors, outsourcers, your consultants need a license, any other people like that need a license, your dog might need a license. It depends on if you can log in or not. I mean, he's got a name, he's already halfway to named user. All right, so I'm kidding. Your dog obviously does not need a license, but I say that because I want you to remember this part. We've had a lot of clients come to Miro and they did not use this expansive type of definition, left a lot of people in their organization out and what they thought their pricing was. So if you've got any questions about who qualifies and who doesn't, please let us know. We would be more than happy to go over that with you, with your exact specific situation. Okay, so how does this pricing work? Well, clearly, like a lot of things, you're going to get a discount as you go over. And you can see here, if you're over 50,000, it's a custom discount. The difference here is it's measured by a new metric. So the new metric is called per employee, like just as I explained it. The old metric was per processor. So you were licensing the machines as opposed to the people. And there's another even older metric called the perpetual Java SE license. If you have the old, I'll go over this in a minute. If you bought under the old metric and you are licensed under the old metric, you do not need to buy new licenses under the new metric. If you have additional hardware you bring online, obviously you need more licenses. But if you bought the old license and you licensed everything via that old metric, you're okay. You don't need to worry about per employee. All right. So I just kind of said that you will be able to do it. Oracle has come out and said existing licensees do not need to do anything. If for some reason you're concerned whether you really fit that definition, whether your whole company does, that's the kind of question we answer all the time. Let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you. All right. So you might be thinking to yourself, how does Oracle even know I've got Java installed? Well, I can tell you, Oracle kind of assumes you do. If you are more likely than not, unless your organization specifically set itself up now or in the past to not use Java, you've got Java. The thing I like to say is, if you go to the store, like a CVS, a drugstore, and you buy a birthday card that you open it up and it sings a little song, that thing's probably got Java in it. So just assume it's in everything is the best way to do it until you know for sure. Now you might ask yourself, how does Oracle know I use Java? Well, Java calls home. Java doesn't do it for, it's not like Oracle's doing this for nefarious reasons. It's not out there spying for you. This is just typical software saying, hey, are there any critical updates out there that I need so I don't get hacked? Yeah, can I have those updates? Thanks. That's all it's doing. But when it does that, it creates by default a list on Oracle servers of everybody's IP address that those calls are coming in from. Well, they can use that to track back to your organizations. I'm not a cybersecurity expert. I'm not going to tell you they can do it every time, or there's any way to set it up where they can't. I don't know. But I can tell you that there is a way to disable that. You can disable Java's call home feature. Now, obviously, you're also going to not get any updates at that point, automatic updates. So if you want to know how to do that, that is something we can help you with. And like I said, and this is one of the most important takeaways in my presentation, Java will update itself from a free version to a paid version all by itself. Or if it might ask your user, update to the next version, and your user is just going to go, yeah, go ahead, go, update, thinking it's like everything else. And that will move you from a free to a paid. So word of advice, if you need to turn that feature off, let us know. If you want to learn how to stop your users from upgrading themselves and overriding it, we can help you with that. So let's talk about which versions of Java. So a lot of people, oh, I'm sorry, I usually say this at the beginning, I didn't say it this time. Don't bother writing anything down. Don't screenshot, don't take it. I'm going to send you a recording, and I'm also going to send you a licensing guide. It's going to have every table. It's going to have all the data in it, all the pricing in it, everything that you might be scribbling down right now. I'm about to put a lot of information on the screen. Don't worry about it. I do this myself, so that's why I'm warning you. You will get a guide directly after that will cover everything I'm going over. So here is the short story. It's been licensable since April 2019. That is when they made the announcements. I believe it was in January, and it officially took place in 2019. It affects everything from Java 5 forward. Anything before that is pretty much obsolete. We don't ever see it. So it's everything from 5 to, I think we're like 23. Don't quote me on that. I'll have the slide in a second, but it's like 23 or so. And there's also a version called Java Web Start, which is technically Java 8. And that is an extended support till 2030. So it works differently between 5, 6, 7, and 8 and the rest that are newer. So the rest of them that are newer are either free or paid based on the actual Java release number. All right. So let's say I think 17 is free and 18 is paid. It works differently with these early versions. In these early versions, it is the update or the release that distinguishes it whether it is paid or not. So you can see here with 5, the last free version was 22, the first paid version is 23. Sometimes the numbers in the middle don't exist, like you can see with 6, the last free version was 45 and the first is 51. So if you were expecting a number between the two, don't worry about it. They never released them. So again, I'm going to send you this. You don't have to remember all these specific numbers, but just what I want you to keep in mind, especially for Java 8, because Java 8 is pretty ubiquitous. It is going to be based on the update. And guess what, guys? Just like I said earlier, if your user updates it or your automation updates it from 8.2.02 to 8.2.11 or higher, you just upgraded yourself into non-compliance if you don't have a subscription. I'm going to go over the support in a second here. I want you to just quickly understand, if you don't know what these mean. Long-term support basically means they're going to support it for 5 years and then extend it for 3. Non-long-term support means it's just like it's in and out. It's going to be covered, and 6 months later, they're going to dump it and they're going to expect you to go to the next short term. So what you'll typically see is a couple of short terms, then a long term, a couple of short terms and a long term. This is what that sort of looks like here. So you can see here that in red, I have all of the free ones. So you can see it's kind of scattered around. You can see how 7 and 8, I say, yes, they're technically free based on the update. And you can see right now, like, so if you came into this webinar and your one question was, what is the most current version of Java that is a long-term release that is free? The answer is 17, and it's free for now. So if that's the one thing you were looking for, it is number 17. It was originally released in 2021 in September, and it is in Premiere till 2026 and extended all the way to 2029. If you had 11, right? So 11 was the one that was before this, that was a long-term support. It was not free, but just in case you had 11 and you were saying, okay, I got to update myself out of 11 into something free, 17 is the one you are looking for, especially since 11 is going out of Premiere support as of September 2023. Again, these are point in time. 17 is free for now. 21, we have been told, will be free. You can see that's being released on the 23rd. So if you want to skip 17 and just wait until that one comes out of 2021, you know your organization better than we do. You know, that's something you could think about. But, you know, obviously you don't want to be out of compliance for too long here. We really suggest that, you know, now is the time to make the plans. If it was me, I wouldn't wait till for 21. I would get going on 17 now, or possibly a Java alternative, or get a subscription, whatever you think is best for your organization. So real quick, I will fly through this. Sustaining support basically means, what are they going to cover? They're going to cover bugs and security fixes, things like that. What are they not going to cover? New tools. They're not going to do a 24-hour commitment. Things like that. So that's essentially what it means. This isn't really a support webinar. By the way, if you don't want to renew your Oracle support anymore, that is something we can do for you. So if you've got a whole bunch of bills, a whole bunch of different contracts, different units, different divisions, it's a big, if it's a difficult thing that you find yourself doing, we have a system where we can do your Oracle support for you. Just call us up, ask about it, and we could also probably save you some money too. So let's talk about what might you be able to use instead of Java. So if you don't want to try to upgrade your systems to the latest, greatest, freest version of Java. What are your other options? So we list a few. There's quite a few more than this. These are the main ones that we like to list for Java. And if your plan is to substitute and go out and get one of these, either open source, one of these paid versions, anything like that, you should be aware of two things we've experienced. And essentially it is this: talk to the stakeholders in your organization and tell them about your plan to switch and see what they say. Because what we have found is that IT security teams sometimes say, no, this doesn't meet our level of security. We have also found procurement teams that don't like the way it's purchased or that it's open source, and legal teams that don't like the rules it comes under. So we say kind of clear these things up. The one I will point out to you right away, the reason I have them bolded here, is Azul. Azul, they used to be called, the two products called Zulu and Zing. I left that up here in case that was the last term you're familiar with. They are now called Core and Prime. I highlighted them for a reason. Again, security is the biggest concern we have for our clients, who are not our concerns, their concerns for themselves, for when they're switching to an open source or one of these alternatives. And one of the biggest things, they always come back to us and say, well, Oracle Java comes with critical patch updates. And for us, that's an absolute, line in the sand. We cannot go without critical patch updates. And I highlighted Azul here because, unlike the other ones on the list, Azul actually does do critical patch updates, does them the same day as Oracle, same fixes, same thing, everything. So if you are looking for a alternative, you might want to look at those two if critical patch updates are something that's very important to you. If you were looking to find out, hey, what's really the best option for me in terms of like my cost, my switching, the hassle, do I want to stay? Do I want to pay more? Again, Azul does their pricing based on per hardware. It's a hardware based, not an employee based. So I just want to quickly throw that out there. It may be more beneficial for you to get Azul and do it hardware based. It might be more beneficial to get Java and do it employee based. It's going to be different for every organization, but yeah, Azul does have the critical patch updates. If you are not sure which way you think you might go, talk to us. We can show you the benefits and the drawbacks of different alternative options. All right, so that's my second poll here. I have the wrong header on here, but I'm just going to launch it anyway. I think I did my polls backwards, but we're going to do this one. So what's your current usage of Java? Have you reviewed where you are using your Java in terms of, have you gone out and done that, what's it called? The search, going through your systems, going through your servers, going through your laptops, your handheld devices. As another one that we frequently find clients forgetting about. Do your employees maybe have a point of sale device and walking around a floor? Do they have a device that is scanning people's ID at a door? Java could be in just about anything. So this is great. I love this. Thanks for this is perfect. We got a bunch of answers coming in. I really love to see this. So I've been doing these webinars for quite a while now, informing people about their Java licensing situation. And I have to say, this is the highest amount I've ever seen. So this really makes me feel good. I'm glad to see you guys are looking to see where it is reviewed. You started on that. I'm glad that, I don't have anybody who's just, head in the sand on that one. So good on you guys. Again, I'll give you 5 more seconds to answer my poll here, and we'll keep going. And remember, if you answer my poll questions, I will send you the results of the hundreds and hundreds of people we've had in these webinars for Java. All right, let's go. All right, real quick, we're not going to get into contract details. That's far, far too much in the weeds. What we are going to do is I want to point out to you that these different Java subscriptions can be under different agreements. There's the big 3 were the Oracle Binary Code Agreement, the Technology License Agreement, and the No Fee Terms and Conditions Agreement. You can see how different ones apply to different Javas. So again, if you're looking at the rules, make sure you're looking at the right set of rules in the right contracts for the Java edition that you were looking up. Okay, let's talk about what a Java audit looks like. So you see that we call them sales inquiries. Oracle calls them sales inquiries. But make no mistake, it can be the beginning of an audit. It depends on how you respond. Oracle's audit team used to be called LMS for License Managed Services. They have a new name. They're called the Global License Advisory Services. So if you get a call from a Oracle sales rep and they'd love to get you on their phone with the Glass team, or they just want to call you and talk about your audit, your Java situation, it could be more than just a phone call. If you are concerned about how you should respond to a Oracle Java audit or any kind of Oracle audit, or any audit from any other vendor, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you understand how to be prepared, how to make sure your team doesn't divulge information that you don't want them divulging. So that is something we can help you with. Now, what they're going to do when they talk to you is they're simply just going to say, how many employees do you have? Now, let's be honest, they probably looked it up before they called you. They may know more about your employee headcount than you do. They're really just trying to get the ball rolling and let you know, hey, you do technically need a license for this. And like I said, they're just going to assume, unless you tell them otherwise, that Java's in there somewhere. So unless you can come back and say, hey, nope, we removed it all from our systems, unless you're positive, you really should be looking into it ahead of time. And like I said before, don't let your Java users or the Java itself upgrade itself out of compliance is what you don't want. And don't negotiate without help. That's what we really recommend is, don't try to be the expert in something you're going to do once. Come up to us or someone like us. Don't go it alone and get some advice from somebody who's done Java deals. Like I've said, we've done dozens and dozens and dozens since the initial Oracle announcement came through. So we've been there, we've done that. We know how to get you the best deal possible. And even if you don't go with us, go with somebody who's an expert. So let's talk about the big gotcha. Again, if I'm going to throw my hands in the air and say, stop multitasking for a second and pay attention to the slide. This is the one I want you to see. This is the most important slide in the entire presentation. Because if your plan was to buy a 1-year subscription and then figure it out, and then by the end of that 1 year, get rid of Java, your plan has a problem. So you can see here in the lower level here, if you buy a 1-year contract, it comes with 4 years now, 4+ years of back usage fees. So your 1-year contract is actually a 5-year contract, 4 years of which you've already used and they're going to bill you for. So that is how the 1-term contract is structured right now. The 3-year contract is a little better. You can get up to 50% off those back usage fees, but now you're talking, you're going to get 50% off the last 4 years and you've got 3 years of subscription going forward. And as you can see, of course, if you're willing to sign the 5-year, you get no additional cost going backwards. So what you can kind of see here, guys, is that 5 years is kind of the only option, 5 years plus at this point. So the only question is, do you want that facing forward or do you want that mostly being in the past? There are a few options. If you are looking at this and saying to yourself, wow, we really do not want to pay the per employee option. We'd really rather pay the old option under CPU and it being, I'm going to mess it up, measured by hardware. Call us, let us know. I'm not going to promise you anything there. There are some circumstances where we can help you. But otherwise, this is the pricing model. Again, this will be in the guide I send you after. And finally, my last poll here. Have you been audited for Java? And this climbs every time I take it. Oh, I didn't hit the launch button. Sorry. There we go. Have you been audited for Java? And I have to tell you, this number keeps going up every time I do the results. And it is interesting to see how Oracle is making its way through the different industries. We've seen clusters. If you ever wondered how does Oracle pick out its Java targets, it's a bit of a crystal ball, but we've noticed that it'll be certain industries. We'll see a whole bunch of a certain industry get audited, or we'll see a whole bunch of other things. The one we've seen right now, I can tell you right now, government. We are seeing Java audits from governmental, both federal and state level, at a much, much higher clip. We don't know if that's something, maybe it's just, it's in our bias of our view, but I would warn you right now, anecdotally, if you are a government entity, be more aware than you might normally be in terms of vendor audits, because that seems to be a focus at the moment. Again, thank you. Again, every time I do this, it is the highest I've ever seen it for have you been audited. All right. Again, I'm going to share all this with you guys after the event. All right, here's the conclusions takeaway. And again, if you have not asked a question, please type it into your question box now. I got my whole team here. They're ready to go to answer your questions. You might as well get some free support. You stayed around this long, some free consulting. So, all right, here are my takeaways that I want you to have. Make sure that if, whatever versions of Java you have are probably licensable. Make sure that you are paying attention to the long-term, short-term support policies. You don't want to go build your product on some short-term thing and then have it not work because by the time you are finished, that version of Java is no longer supported. Take a look and see what agreements you have already. Double check. Maybe you have some Java licensing already. Maybe you have some subscriptions. Maybe there's something else. For example, another one I didn't for some reason I normally cover. One of the most common questions we get. Well, you know what? I'll cover that when we get to question and answer. All right, so keep going. Make sure you know which it is. When you get a proposal from Oracle, examine it carefully. Even better, get somebody who is an expert in Oracle contracts and proposals to help you. Hopefully us, but definitely somebody. And then at that point, do the math. Find out what it's going to cost. What is your list price for a Java subscription? What is your list price if you move away to something? What is your cost if you go with an open source one? Well, what's it going to? You're going to need a guy to stay on top of that, So you got to think about your total cost of ownership sort of thing, as opposed to what is just the sort of line item cost for different things. And with that, I will say, well, what do you do? Well, you could do nothing. I don't recommend that. That's about the worst thing you could do. It's a matter of time. Know where you have your Java. You guys are a smart crowd. You are more aware of where you've got it than anybody I've done this for so far. Know your settings. Absolutely. If you are concerned about being updated out of compliance, go check those update settings. And if you turn them off, remember you turned them off and your Java's not getting updated so that you would have to do it manually, which is a set of problems and concerns on its own. Know your alternatives. How ready are you for a Java alternative? How long would that switch take? How many of your stakeholders are going to be okay with it? Find out. And most importantly, like I said, get expert help. Get somebody who's done this many times. Don't try to be an expert doing it once. If it's not us, find somebody. We'd recommend us, but find somebody. And with that, I'm going to jump over to questions, and I'm going to read off the question I get every single time. Because it's going to pop up here and somebody's probably typing it now. And the question is, what if I already have Java as part of a different Oracle product, that Oracle product came embedded with Java? Let's say you're in a theoretical world, you have that one Oracle product that came embedded with Java. You do not need any licensing to use the Java with that one product. So if it's like an EBS, I don't know off the top of my head if EBS has Java, it probably does. Something like that, you do not, if you buy a product from Oracle that includes Java, the Java's already included. It doesn't mean you can use Java across your environment for everything else. It only covers that one product. So that's the most common question. So again, my team here, I've got some questions that I don't know. And I don't know if we're going to know the answer. I'm going to start with the first one. Can skipping versions cause vulnerabilities? We are not the right organization to ask that question. We're not a cybersecurity organization. We're not implementers. We are licensing and contract specialists. So if anybody else maybe knows in my audience, you could throw it in there if you have that thing. But again, I don't want to answer that because that is not our expertise. Can I explain the versions 21 and 17 again? Does it mean using and staying on these versions will avoid the need to purchase Java subscriptions? From my understanding, and team, please jump in and let me know, is that the need for an employee metric-based subscription is triggered when you use a version that is not free. So I will get back to you on that one. That's what I believe as it was explained it to me. If anybody on my team has a comment and that I did not explain that correctly, please let me know. And I'm going to make a note because honestly, I want to make sure the answer to that one. So the person who asked that question, I'm going to get back to you after this just to make sure that is in fact the way it goes. Okay. If the plan is to remove Java completely, but there are a couple of instances that can't have Oracle Java removed, we must license. Yes, you must license under the entire employee count model. If you are using it at all, and if it's a version, like I said to the last question, that's not free. So that is how it goes. I would suggest you, if you're really in a situation where you're removing it from, like, let's say hundreds and hundreds of places, and there's like 4 that you can't, my suggestion is, you can really not get from those 4. So I don't know, I'm not an implementer, but yes, you would still need it if you were using any paid versions. All right. If we uninstall Java on the endpoints and the servers, we would then be in compliance from that front anyway? Yes, I believe so. Also, let's say a server has Java installed to run an application. How is that licensed? Well, it's licensed at the per employee metric now. So it depends. If you'd already licensed it, you don't need to do anything. If you are running a version of Java that is not a free version on your server, you have just clicked over into employee pricing, because they don't do it based on hardware anymore. If we have never paid a subscription and are removing where not required and migrate to OpenJDK, but same as before, this was the same question. Yes, you can negotiate. It says, can we negotiate? Yes, absolutely, you can negotiate. Your success in negotiations will be very much dependent on what can and cannot be negotiated for. So one of the things we can advise you on is not wasting time trying to argue things that are red lines with Oracle that 100 organizations have tried before you and it never works because they never budge. We can help you understand, well, what can you really negotiate for? What real discounts are good pricing? What is a good discount? What is not a good discount? So if you have it installed in a few places, that will trigger your employee metric. But yes, you can definitely negotiate, and we can definitely help you do that. All right. Ooh, looks like I'm going to need one for my team to jump in on this one. So for purchased third party, let me open my quick, give me 1 second. I just open up. All right. One moment. I'm sorry, I lost my window. Okay. For purchased third party application integration with Oracle. If it comes with Java, okay, so if it comes with Oracle, if the Java came with an Oracle product, you don't need an additional license. You don't need to subscribe to Java. You don't need a license. You don't need to do the employee metric. If that is the only instance of Java at your organization, is if it is embedded in a Oracle product to begin with. So under that very rare circumstance, no, you don't need additional licenses. But we have found that in practice, organizations typically always have Java somewhere else. And yes, it was exact. So a lot of you guys think along the same lines, and I like that. It means you're all. I got a good room of professionals in here. Okay, we have a 1-year subscriptions that we renew in the employee count model. The only discounts are off the 5-year agreement. Do I have an estimate at the discount level? It's going to depend on your situation specifically. So the person who asked about the 1-year subscription, if that is the hardware-based model, you can just renew it. So what I was showing you before, those subscriptions, 1 year, 5 year, 3, those are for new. Those are all new out of the box pricing and rules. I don't have renewal. Renewal is going to be different based on how did you sign up to begin with. So if you signed up per employee, it'll renew per employee. If you signed up per hardware metric, it will renew at hardware metric. You don't need to do anything. So that is my best answer for that question. I'm going to contact you afterward because I think I want to make sure I get you the right answer there and I understood your question correctly. We have time for another question or two. If you have it here, you can put it in now. But otherwise, we'll give it another 30 seconds or so. I'm going to send you all the information. I'm going to send you the Java licensing guide. I'm going to send you a recording to this video. You're going to get that in the next day or so. We just need a little bit of time to process it. And again, I don't think I'm seeing anything else. So let me just leave you with this. Get help. Don't go it alone. And if you want help and you don't want to worry about it in terms of getting your money's worth, contact Miro. We got a great performance guarantee. We could save you a lot of money on very many different things, very many different vendors. So if it's time to cut those costs and you want a better deal, give us a call, let us know, and we have that performance guarantee to make sure that's going to work out for you. And with that, we have no more questions. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you again to my team. Thank you for everyone for being here. We're going to follow up with you very shortly after this. This is the end of the webinar. Have a great day. Thanks for coming.